Previously on Annabelle.
That doll is evil, I tells ya! Evil! Evil!
Sorry, but you know me. I'll use any opportunity possible to use a line from The Simpsons. Annabelle Creation is the prequel to The Conjuring, and yes, this has now gotten way too convoluted, but spoiler alert for how this movie ends, that ain't gonna stop anytime soon. But this movie answers the question that probably nobody was asking. How was the evil, creepy doll Annabelle created? And long story short, but a doll maker loses his daughter, then years later he turns his home into an orphanage for 6 little girls who start to hear strange sounds bumming around in the middle of the night, only to find the creepy ass doll, and once they unearth it, things get cranked up to 11. And that's one thing I have to applaud this movie for. Over the past decade or so, horror films have started to follow a pattern of just having nothing happen. Just having that fear that something might happen be the real terror of the movie. In fact, I heard from many people that this was their big problem with the first Annabelle film, that she just kinda sat there throughout all of it. Yeah, not in this film. In this film, Annabelle don't play. The moment they find that doll, she starts messing with these kids and she doesn't let up. You don't spend this movie wondering when something will happen, you'll spend it freaking out at the stuff that actually is happening. And the scares are actually shot pretty damn well. I have to applaud the director because he shows that he really does have an eye for horror. And this is one of those horror movies that follows the classic rule where it's scarier what you don't see. They do some amazing shots where they set up a horrible thing off camera, give you just enough to get an idea of what it is, and then they have it fade into the darkness or cut to the character reacting so the audience has to fill in the blanks, which I've always said is way scarier than just showing you a monster. And this movie has got some stones to it. It does stuff in this movie that I was not expecting. There will be characters in this film who you will think, oh, they're safe. Everything that I know about horror films tells me they're gonna be okay. Yeah, they're not okay. They're not safe. I was actually genuinely shocked by where this story went. However, even though I was actually surprised by how good the horror aspect of this film was, that doesn't mean it was good everywhere else. The biggest problem with this movie is just the girls we're following and rooting for because, yeah, you probably won't care that much about what happens to them because they are weak characters. The main girl is too serious, her friend is too overly cutesy, the 2 older girls are just catty cliches, and the 2 middle girls are non-existent. No, I'm not kidding. There are only 6 girls in this film, and 2 of them you will forget they exist. There was one moment where one of the girls popped up in a scene and I jumped because I did not remember her being in this movie. Also, they spend the majority of the first half of this film trying to make you think that the dad is a murderer, and yeah man, did anybody fall for this? I mean, I hope nobody takes this as a spoiler, but we all know it's a movie about a creepy possessed doll. Nobody thinks the dad is going to turn out to be evil. And the last 5 minutes of this film is explaining how we get from this movie to the previous movie. And if you're like me and you didn't see the previous movie because everyone you knew told you to stay away, yeah, it kind of kills your excitement. Also, the way that they saved the day at the end kind of made me go, wait, for real? You could do that? But that one might just be me. So yeah, story-wise and especially character-wise, this movie has a lot of problems. In fact, with the characters, I can see that being a thing that ruins this for a lot of people. However, for me, what's important in a horror film is the scares. And I actually thought this film had some pretty damn good ones. I left this movie feeling pretty hyped and amped up, so I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this film. And if you want to see our spoiler talk on this movie, it's right over there. And remember, every weekend we do movie reviews and spoiler talks, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button to see more. And if you want to help this channel grow, then make sure that you hit that like button and share us around the web. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and come back next week for another Thorgi-Mini review. Bye, everyone.